Hello and welcome to Harmony Haven Discussions. My name is Jacqueline Brown. I am the writer, director, and producer of Haven the series. Welcome. So we're going to introduce ourselves. I've already introduced myself. Let's go down the line.
Sweet. Hello, everybody. My name is Gian Melendez, and I will be playing the role of Jonathan Braves in Haven the series.
Hey y'all, my name is Dijon Alexis McCoy, and I will be playing the role of Haven.
I'm Fiora Rodriguez, and I play the role of Melody.
I'm Stephen King, and I'm playing the role of Dylan.
I'm Kendall Driffin. I'm the executive assistant and a producer.
So, great. All right, let's get into these questions. Let's get into the discussion.
Yes.
All right.
I'm ready.
So y'all have been working so hard, first of all, on this script, on this production. Y'all are really putting in the work. Like, I'm so grateful to everybody. So with that being said, is this your first experience on film? And if so, how do they compare? Anyone can take that question.
I'll go first.
Okay.
This is my first, I don't want to say real project on film, but it's my first creative project. It's a first film project that isn't like a corporate training video or like a weird little commercial or whatever. This is my first creative project that I've worked on film. I'm a little more accustomed to theater, so this has been, I think most of us are.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been such a learning curve, but it's been super fun. And in comparison, I mean, you're doing a corporate training video. There's no art to it. You're literally just sitting there reading whatever. Yeah. Whereas this, is characters, it's lives, it's stories. So this is totally different.
Lovely.
I was about to say.
So I've done a couple short films here and there. At my university, very local. But I think this is the biggest one that I have done. And yeah, I'm just very excited. I think what makes this different, I think this is kind of more at a professional state now. I love the story. I think the other ones were kind of just for final projects, but this is just for us and for New Haven and for everyone to watch. So I think this compared to what I've done before is different and at a higher scale. So I'm just happy to be here.
I agree with Gian. This is not my first film production, but at this scale, at this caliber, definitely my first time with the lights, the cameras, everything. Before, I've done a couple of projects that kind of fell through, or college projects, but for the most part, this is the real deal, my first time, and that's what kind of makes it different. So
This is my official first time. Only other time I've been on camera was for this dude was pitching a board game to Hasbro. So I got asked to do the commercial for the guy, but it never got any, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I consider this my first film project. And also with theater, because this is, and I love that this is a learning curve for me, because I like to I want to get better at the stuff that I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a 180 from where I'm comfortable at, so it's been lovely.
I've been on a film set before as an actor, but I'm on the other side, which is interesting, and I'm having such a great time watching you guys do your work and find these characters and just have fun with each other. There's so much discovery, but there's also a new learning, technique for me too, being on the opposite side and being on the producer side, and just the technical, side of film and learning that. So yeah, it's different, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Good.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, you are.
Shout out Kendall.
Come on now. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Why did I choose that question? We'll go to that one next. Okay, so with you all having background in other projects and doing other things, some of you have been on other film sets before. What drew you specifically to Haven series? Why'd you say yes? Why'd you audition?
I don't always want to be the one going first.
I can go first. Well, so I did you did the read. Jackie had a read like on Zoom with like a full like a script that like a full HBO size script and.
Okay. No, like it was huge.
But it was dope, and also like Jackie's the homie, so to be there to support. But then doing the read, I was like, yo, this is like good, and this is just like us on Zoom reading it, and it's like I can see the stuff, and it was just like well written.
Think Pretty Woman, but black.
You're joking.
Not at all, man. People love Pretty Woman. It's a classic.
Yes, but that was made in 1990. You can't make something like that now.
Why not?
It's disrespectful to women.
No, it's empowering. Okay, Julia Roberts wasn't dumb. She was smart, just in a tough situation. Look, once she got some money and a taste of that life, she wanted better. I want to show that from a black perspective.
I was encouraged to audition, and I'm glad like I did. I'm glad I didn't like let it pass by and just go, oops, I forgot. Because like, why not be a part of something so dope with somebody that like I know that you're about your business, but it's great stuff too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, Jackie's my friend, so I'm just, it's like, no, this is like great writing. Yeah. So to be able to be a part of like putting it on his feet is like, it's an honor.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. The writing is great. That's the first thing I think I look at when I see a project come up as an opportunity. So I agree, the writing's great. That's one of the first things I noticed about Haven, the series. But also, New Haven holds such a special little place in my heart for me. I'm not a Connecticut native, but I've been here a long time, and I've lived in many towns throughout Connecticut. And I've worked a lot on and off in New Haven, and I lived briefly in New Haven and Westville. And that was like the best year of my life. And to see a story that's well written, takes place in New Haven, and doesn't highlight the negatives of New Haven like so many places do. It's easy to focus on the drugs in New Haven and the gun violence, but instead this is just a story about people and friends and relationships and finding God and all of that. So to see a story that takes place centered in New Haven, but that isn't about the negatives of New Haven, I was like, yeah, I'm sold. This is great.
To kind of bounce off what Fiora was saying, for me, I think it was one, like Steven was saying, Jackie was a mentor of mine. I met her in New Haven doing these monologue competitions. So the first thing I saw was the trailer with you on it, and I was drawn to it. One, it was a story that you wrote, it was real, and I related to it. That was one. Two, what Fiora was saying, I'm born and raised in New Haven, so I was like, hey, like this is in New Haven, and why not try or audition to hopefully be able to collaborate with you again, with other collaborators like Jackie in New Haven, just working with other people that have the same sort of drive that I want to have in my life and what I love to do. And I think the cherry on top, what really sold me was, hey, like everything that I've done, whether it's like theater or film, I always tend to put myself in like this sort of niche or this sort of like alleyway. So this was the first time that I said, hey, like what Fiora was saying, this is just a normal story. There's no drugs. It's just highlighting just the normal things that people don't realize are beautiful. So I said, hey, why not? And if I do get cast, God willing, this is going to be my first time just playing a human being, and it's just something very different for me that I've never played before. So
action.
Captain? That's awesome. Congratulations.
thank you. You know, I don't really like to go out much, but the guys convinced me. So.
You always were bad at celebrating yourself.
You were good at it, though. I still have that custom shirt you made me when I graduated.
Good. It's special.
You are.
Huh? What?
What brings you back?
That's great.
Yeah.
And you are driven.
Thank you.
You are.
Stop.
Yeah, you are
Thank you.
driven. That's
Thank
why
you.
you're doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, you work hard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You going somewhere after this? Like,
Stop.
what are you talking about? You driven.
Stop. I don't know how to take compliments. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, Thank you, Jackie. No, it's just a real moment. I'm happy. God was working up there, so this is happening for a reason. We're here in this space for a reason, so I'm blessed. I'm here.
Yeah. You all are very driven. Like there was like obviously y'all blew me away. Y'all blew us away in the room, but also just like spirit wise, just energetically, like y'all are. This is the cast, right? It wasn't when I was in editing that announcement flyer and it like I saw all y'all faces together. I said, "Wow."
Look at my kids.
I said, this is it. And then we're in the room together, meshing. We're going through these scenes. I'm like, even though as I was writing the script, I saw these characters differently. In the room, each of you took the character onto your own.
Whose idea was it to cast me as Goldilocks in the 5th grade? It wasn't mine. I could have been a bee. I love bees. My whole life, position after position, I never asked. They just gave, and now, I'm stuck holding the pieces, trying to make sense of it all, you know?
Sometimes I feel like you never cared about us.
Don't.
I did all the work. You just took. You took and take and take. Was this real for you, or were you just acting?
How dare you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what were you like? 10? I don't know how she knew.
Yo, that football stat right in the back of your head.
Dylan Avery Gray. Just because I can't see you, don't mean I can't see you.
She always knew what was up. Sometimes before we even thought about it.
Pleasantly surprised by each and every one of you of what you have brought to the space and what you have brought to this piece. Like, my words, as y'all have said, like, and I'm grateful that y'all like my writing, but like, what y'all are bringing to it, like writing, you know, y'all give it the heartbeat, y'all give it the breath. So, appreciate y'all for that, for real.
Appreciate you.
Okay, all right.
Are you gonna ask a question about what makes us turn down a project or
Yeah, that's coming.
Okay, no, because I was gonna add to what you just said if we're not gonna ask that question. So if
no, we are. I'm not sure if everyone answered the other question though about what drew you to this.
Oh no, I did. Okay. So the crazy thing is that like I was scrolling on Instagram one day and I saw the ad for this and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna submit to that. And then school took me and life took me and then I realized that I had missed the submission deadline. And I was like, I don't know, something's telling me to just reach out to see if I could still, you know, submit an audition. And that's exactly what I did. And then I heard back a couple of days after that I could submit. And when I got the script in hand and I read that first initial monologue, not even just the monologue, but when I read like the synopsis of what everything was about, I just genuinely, I fell in love immediately because I was like, there's no way that this person wrote a story that is so close to home for me. The fact that I live in New Haven was one thing, but the fact that Haven has gone through so much and we are so similar and alike, I just felt like it was right place, right time, and I'd be crazy to not audition for it. And so my sister, Jasmine, reached out to me and was like, sis, you gotta submit. Jackie's dope. She's a great person. You're gonna love the process. Like, just submit, see what happens. And I submitted to it, got the chemistry read call back, and when I was in the room, the waiting room, I heard your voice. Nobody knows that, but I heard your voice and I heard you say that you were looking for something and you were looking for something to be deep and something to be felt. And I was like, okay,
wow,
I'm going to take that. And it was just like, again, right place, right time. And I walk in and I have no idea what I'm about to read. Like, absolutely no idea. Right. And so like the cold read comes and I get to, you know, that part. And I'm like, okay, like we're about to do this. And like right after that, I walked out of that audition room feeling like, you know what, even if I don't get it, I just felt happy to be in the room.
Did you hear voices the second you left the room?
No.
Oh my God.
No. I was on the elevator and gone by.
Yeah, we said,
we
whoa.
were trying to keep it quiet
She
until you
blew
got
us
away.
Yeah. For real.
Oh, but I will say, I saw Kendall's reaction because she was like,
No, you really did.
So yeah, that's what drew me to it. The story, the fact that it's right at home, and that it's something that I don't have to reach so far for. Because everything I do is so out there that it was just like, you know what? This is how I pay homage to the place that I live in, you know? So that's what drew me to it, yeah. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That was beautiful. That was.
Yeah, you blew us away in the room.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Away.
There was
Thank
so much
you.
depth and vulnerability and rawness and truth on that cold read, and we saw so many people read that part. But when you did it, it was just so captivating, and I just wanted to keep watching you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I would not cry
This
today.
part was for you.
Yeah.
Really, it was.
Yeah.
This part was for you.
Yeah.
God ordained.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ben. How are you? What can I get for you?
Oh, right. Can I have a chai latte?
$6.50.
Oh. Okay. So this is happening. Not even in town for a week, and I walk into her coffee shop? Can you believe it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
especially hearing that like you wanted to submit and you missed the deadline, and like you missed the deadline and we ain't find nobody.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
You missed the
So
deadline, we ain't
crazy.
find nobody.
God's working.
You submitted.
So crazy.
We found you.
Everything happens
So,
for a
and
reason.
it's crazy too, because
Happens
something
for a
was
reason.
just telling me, something was like, no, you have to just reach out and see if they'll allow you to submit, because you never know. And like, I was like, oh, I didn't hear back for like a day or so, and then like
Emails.
the email came right after that when I was at work, and I was like, oh, I got a self-tape to do as soon as I get home.
Yeah.
Did that, went right back to work right after that. Like,
Yeah.
That's, and I like. Oh my fault.
No, go ahead.
I would say kudos to Jackie for the way she went, because I know when you walked out, and I didn't know that because Jackie said, so what y'all think? I didn't know we would be included in that.
yes.
But to be included, and then to everybody to have that same like.
Yeah.
We were all like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what your process is, but.
I was like, go get her before she gets to the elevator. Tell her she got it.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I'm glad we're all here together.
Yes.
Let me get my questions back up. Okay. So with that, hearing all the reasons of why you said yes to a project, why you say yes to this project specifically, what are things and reasons why you would say no? And prior to y'all answering, I would like to say that for me, on the actor side, it's been rare when I've said no to things because I've been so eager to like work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's a role. How much it pay? It's paying.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know, like if they
No,
paying,
that
so
part. That
you
part.
know what I'm saying?
Work
Let's
is
do
work.
it. Let's get some bills
Yeah.
paid.
Work
Can
is
it pay a
work.
bill? You
Right.
know?
Work
Exactly.
is work.
And so, yes, work is work, right? And like, but it was only, especially with doing this project, that I was like, oh wow, like, I was so eager to like sit at somebody else's table and like to be able to set the table
Right.
for others to sit at is like a total different ball game. Yeah. So yeah, if I was to, go if me back in the actor's seat of like what would make me say no to a project is like, does it speak to me or does it not?
Yeah, I agree. I would say I try to stay far away from things that feel like caricatures of my people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to be seen as this one thing. I don't want to be seen as like, oh, you know what? Can you do a bottle girl? Can you be, a dancer? Can you do da, da, da? And there's nothing wrong with those things, right? However, it's so easy for once you are seen in a certain light, for people to say, you know what, I think that works best for you, and I kind of want to like keep you there. And so those are like the ones that I will mainly say no to. Anything that's like, I want you to be neck popping and like I don't. Can you show me reading a book? How about me going to a prestigious college like Yale University? Like, you know what I mean? So those would be the things that I like would be my absolute no. Yeah.
Lately, I don't know. I think at this stage where I am in life, I'm very eager, I'm hungry, I'm starving. That's what I feel. I'm so hungry to just seek different opportunities and stuff like that. But then even what I was saying earlier, that connects to what you were just saying is like, I'm struggling to find out, should I continue to audition for things that is like my typecast or kind of what I always get kind of typecast? Because I know that, God willing, maybe there will continue to be more opportunities in that specific, that specific field or that specific niche. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. But knowing me, I don't think I would say no because I love acting. This is what I've always wanted to do, and even being here again, it's like it's a dream come true for me. But I think a big no for me would be if it kind of goes against my beliefs. I don't even think I have to say anything else. If it's something that I just and if it's something that doesn't correlate to what my beliefs are and what I believe in, I will just let the next person have the opportunity, not for me. So I think that's my answer. Yeah.
I think we're all pretty early in our careers as actors, so I think we can all relate to and understand that hunger and like that word of like, it pays great, like I'll do it. Right. And I've definitely done some projects where I'm like, God, that's like embarrassing. Cringe. But you know what? They paid me $400. So I'm like, oh yeah. Right. In that same vein, though, writing is really important to me because I feel that an actor is only so good as the writing is. Like, you could have the world's best actor. If the writing is trash, that actor can only do so much. So, and I've had scripts where I'm like, no matter how many different ways I say, emotions I try, backstories I come up with, I'm like, at the end of the day, this is still trash.
It's so real,
and listen, I've, done projects like that too because, they pay really well or whatever. But if I have the chance to say no to something, like maybe I don't desperately need the money, or maybe I'm just really interested in the project for whatever reason, the writing is something that really interests me, as well as I take a look at like the caliber of the production. So like if it's out I've worked with certain groups before where I'm like, I will never work with these people again. Not because they're mean or whatever. It's just like unprofessional, disorganized, whatever. And so from day one, walking into auditions, and I'm like, y'all got tables? You're lined up? Right. Literally just that. I was like, sold.
Not having tables and lined up.
Ooh, y'all got papers? You're writing things down? I'm like, okay, so we're on that level. Great. Because I walked into auditions rooms where it's like, what are you here for? Where am I supposed to go? Like, are you the director? Like, what's happening? Nothing's recorded. It's just like in someone's house. I'm like, what is that?
Oh my God, that's someone's house.
Just like sketchy productions where I'm like, this is not... I don't want to do it. So, and then the cherry on top is it happened to be this incredible cast, and we gel so well, and we have such a good time. I mean, rehearsals are mostly us goofing off. So, that was just the cherry on top. So that's definitely another component that I look at of like, how organized is this group? Do they know what they're doing? Do they have a vision, like a plan, a journey? And do I like the people in the project? And then, if it pays, of course, so. Right. But there's a lot of little things, and it starts with writing, and then there's these other things that I think about.
With me, with acting, I said no, but more so, so I'm a musician primarily. So as of recent, I've been saying no a lot more. And I think just because I have a more solid foundation in music. So my no's with music, they can transfer over. So my no's with music is like, am I gonna have fun being there myself? Like, I would get calls for hey, we want you to, and if I just know I'm not gonna want to be there, it's weird. Then I can say no. Like, money doesn't matter, or if the money, and now I'm at a place I can say, hey, this is the price, because we know our worth. This is the price. Absolutely. No, all right. I'm sorry, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Right. But acting is kind of like, I love to act, and I'm still hungry, and I've been blessed enough to be able to. I don't get asked a lot for acting stuff, so I don't have a lot of no's to say. But I will say I did this stage reading a few weeks back, and I had to pull up my big boy pants and say something, because it wasn't a no, but it was also like there was something written in it that for me, like, I wasn't comfortable saying. And it specifically, it was like, it was a joke with, it had God in it, in a joke, and it was like something along the lines of, don't lie, God can hear you, and she'll know if you're doing wrong. And for me, I'm like, I had to stop. I read it, I couldn't go past it. I said, hey, to the director, I said, how important is this? Because, it's, you know, from my faith, I would like to say he. Like, it's really like, it's doing something in me, so I have to ask. He was like, oh, it's not that, you know, yes, do what you need to do. And you feel me? But, like, if I was so eager to say yes to the play, and, like, would I have stood on my 2 feet and said, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a no, but it was also like I had to stand up for something. And if he'd have said, nah, I really need that in there, I might have just walked off. You know what I'm saying? It may be that deep for some people, but I'm just like, you got to stand for something. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you'll end up doing projects in somebody's basement.
right.
You feel me?
Very questionable.
Yeah.
And live to tell the
Very questionable.
Right.
So I don't think I'll say no. I don't see myself saying no off rip often, but like I do know I have a place. I have a limit now for like certain stuff.
I hope we get to a space where we
Right.
get lots of opportunities to say no, because
Yeah.
that means like the work's flowing and we're not worried about, you know, paying the bills or whatever, and I can say I don't like that one. No.
Right.
No, right. I can't even do that, right?
That's real.
Yeah.
Okay. Ken, would you like to answer?
Oh, sure. I kind of want to touch base with what you said. For me, in saying no, the word no by itself is hard to say in life in general, right?
Yes.
Especially being a black woman,
Right.
saying no is difficult. So I'm learning to get out of this scarcity mindset
Yes.
and trusting that my art and my craft, my talent, and God will lead me in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Regardless of my answers to
Right.
whatever project. But also, I have this quote, I carry this quote with me, and it's by Nina Simone. I'm paraphrasing, but she says, an artist's duty is to reflect the times. And so if the project that I get does not spark some sort of social justice or reflect anything that's going on that people can relate to now, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, because my whole thing with acting is to create conversation and to change minds and hearts. It's all well and good to be entertained. Yes, let's laugh, let's have a good time.
Right,
But there's a lot of real things happening in this world.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, you know, authors, painters, actors, writers are the ones that are really going to shed the truth and shed the light on the things that people don't want to talk about.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, you did have an answer.
She did. Yeah. She answered.
I love that.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Okay. We can couple these questions together. So, how does it feel to play your character? And how do you relate to your character? Or the others? Right? So how does it feel to play this character, and how do you relate to this character and or the others around you?
With me playing Jonathan, I relate to him a lot. But I kind of see him as like a little bit older than I am now. I'm 23 years old, but I think I look at him like a little bit older in life. But I feel like within my own character, I also see myself in you and in you and you too. So it's very interesting whenever, for example, I'm having a scene with Haven. It's a lot of feelings that like I'm feeling from what I'm saying to Haven, but then what Haven is saying to me, or maybe how she's even reacting to what I'm saying, or vice versa. It's, you know, it can bring me back to like a moment of something that I've been through, or, you know, something that I'm going through. But I definitely try to, in those moments that I do relate, I try to play, and I don't let that go away. I feel like when I can relate to something, I think it just becomes so much easier for me to like play that role. But obviously, just depending the role, whether it's something like deep, you know, I just try to like dip my feet in the water when it comes to that. But to wrap the question up, I think I do relate to Jonathan, but it's very interesting within scenes that I'm, even when I'm not in scenes, just watching y'all, like I can see Gian and everybody's character. So yeah.
I feel like where are you gonna go? Oh. I thought I heard like that breath of it. I feel like Melody is like who I wish I was. She's put together. She's confident in herself and what she's doing. Like Melody already hit rock bottom. She's on the other side of that, and that's amazing. I feel like I'm more of a Haven in real life. Awkward and just like don't know what you're doing or like who you really are as a person. I feel like I'm more in that lane. The random accents at random times, I do that. And Melody, though, we don't know much about Melody yet. I've made up this whole insane backstory to Melody, but I'm very excited to see how Melody's journey kind of pans out, what we learn about her past, like who is she, what's she all about, what are her interests. We know she has a kid, but like that's really it. So I don't think I can speak to being Melody because right now, as of these 2 episodes that we filmed so far, Melody serves as just kind of like support for Haven and our relationship and kind of the ins and outs of that. So I'm excited to learn more about Melody and where she's been and where she's going and what her passions are. And then maybe I will relate to her later on.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think I relate to Dylan Avery Gray.
Come on, government.
My man, to Dag, you know what I'm saying? But no, I do like even reading. I think which also makes it a challenge because reading Dylan, I think naturally, I fall into a certain category of like a comedic relief of sorts, not full on like stand up special, but you know what I'm saying, like. He's situational and situational comedic relief, but that has layers. And I think Dylan is that. Relate in a sense that Dylan lives in New Haven, from New Haven. Dylan was in the military. You know what I'm saying? It's. And I also think Dylan struggled with who he is, but did some of these things because it's like, well, look, I got to prove something to myself, and that was me. I joined the military literally to prove that like I wasn't no punk. You feel me? I had a thug brother, so I had to. Yeah. So, but all these things and see where that grew, and I think it's a challenge with that being said because now it's like I don't want to be myself and Dylan. I also want Dylan to have his own thing. So it's finding that separation because there are parts where we're not the same at all, and I think those are the things I'm. Even in these last, up until we shoot, I want to figure out and learn and peel apart so I can. Give him his due, his just due. You know what I'm saying? Not just being Steven playing Dylan. I want to be Dylan. You know what I'm saying? To be like, oh shoot, that's you Dylan. Dylan, that's Dylan. You feel me? So yeah.
Oh, can we do the question
Great
again?
answer. Oh yes.
Can you say the question again?
How does it feel to play this character, and how do you relate to your character or the others?
Okay. It feels really nice to play Haven. I love the way that you wrote her. Like, it's just so good. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. I'm hoping to find out more about her because the thing that's different from me and Haven per se is that like I think I'm an extroverted introvert.
Yes, I get that.
So the awkwardness of Haven, I'm having trouble finding sometimes. But I know that like eventually I'm gonna get there. I'm learning to kind of just let her come to me, and she does in random instances, like when I'm saying goodbye to somebody. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for meeting you. Like, okay, that's weird.
Really not gonna let that one go, are you?
No, I'm never gonna let it go. So yeah, like figuring that out has really been fun for me. Also the fact that she is a shapeshifter and you don't see her in just one light has been like an interesting experience for me. This role has definitely challenged me a lot as far as my versatility as an artist, because acting is something that is very, very dear to me, and I am a comedic person, and so I will only see things like that way. Even the bad things, I'm like, oh, that's funny. But in certain instances, like with Haven, you know, there are moments that she has where she's very, very vulnerable with the audience, with her friends, with God even, which is something that is going to be a lot different for me because most of my conversations with God are private. So like now having those private conversations with God publicly, but like, you know, to my personal audience, those are going to be like some interesting challenges and I'm like ready to face and overcome. So yeah, I'm excited about her. I'm excited she came to me, like, period.
The subtle jump.
Yeah.
I was watching it.
So in the piece, Haven has a moment where she talks about what acting means to her and what it feels to be an actor. And you all have had experience in the game. You all are actors, so I would love to hear from you of what made you say yes to it and why do you continue to say yes to it, right? Because it isn't always it doesn't always feel rewarding, right? But it isn't a rewarding profession. But when you are in it, it doesn't feel that way. So yeah, I would love to hear you all's answers to that of like, what is
question,
it?
Jen.
What
Yeah.
is
Big
it?
question.
I know
I
it is.
about that. I'll start it off, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I think I began doing acting in 5th grade. It was a musical. Dajan and I went to middle school, by the way, so it's like a full circle moment too, just being able to be here with her. But I think, you know, 5th year Gian, extrovert, people person. I love to goof around and do things. So I auditioned it and I did it. Long story short, I loved it. But I think I kept doing it. I started it because I love the collaboration and like the art and the people I met. But I think the older I got, to bounce off what Kendall was saying earlier, the older I got, I realized how, like, cliche to say this, but how impactful acting is. I just finished doing a production of Footloose, and we had a conversation about it after, and it's about this guy that saves dancing and whatever, but that's just like the overall like theme of it. But then it's so beautiful to highlight the single mother with the son moving to a new town. You have the pastor with the mother, and then you have like the kind of like rebellious kind of girl that like doesn't listen to her father, and it's just like being older now, like being able to see that like it tells a story. What Kendall was saying, it's entertainment, it's this, but if you, there's layers, but there's infinite layers that just keep going within it's one person or just, you know, a scene or within 2 characters. And dude, like, acting tells so many beautiful stories. So I think that's why I'm continuing to do it. And for my sake, why I also love it is because I feel like, dude, like every project I do, I love the people, I love the process. It's like, this is why I'm so hungry to do this, because every time I do it, I want more. I'm feeding for it. Like, you know, it's like this adrenaline that I get, and I've learned so much throughout the process in acting, and it's brought more things like things of like photography, because I'm such a learner. I'm open to learning, so my ears and eyes are always like, I'm looking, and I'm grounded. I'm trying to, you know, sponge everything in, and like what can like, you know, take everything in. So a lot has came from that. A lot of opportunities, like even this, like I'm just so like, it's just crazy. It's crazy, and I think so much has came from it. And I'm so happy to see where this, you know, where this goes. But yeah, I hope that made sense.
It did.
I love acting, and I don't really know why. You know, I don't really recall at that point in my life why I auditioned. I just know I did it, but then now I know why I do this. And it's there's not one answer. I can't. You know, I after every performance, I pray, and then I just have these tears of joy, and it's just like, it's not even that I'm forcing, it's just literally, that's just how I feel. I'm so immersed in what I love to do, and like it's crazy. I went to college, and you know, for pre-nursing, and now I'm a theater major, and I've never, like, I'm just so happy with life right now, and acting has brought me that. Acting has brought me happiness, so that's why I act. That's why I like acting.
Can't follow that.
Wrap it
No,
up.
for real. That was it. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for coming. That was it.
Master class.
Master class.
Absolutely.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot,
Yes.
that was
Well, I mean, I guess I'll follow that. That's actually a very loaded question for me, and without getting into my whole life story, nobody needs to hear that. Acting was a part of my life as a child always. My grandmother was a playwright. I have an aunt who's an actress. And every summer I'd spend with my grandma and she would write little plays for us, and I would boss all my cousins around and we would rehearse this little play.
So you got training.
Right. Elite. And that was honestly the extent that I thought about acting as a kid. It was like the summer fun thing I used to do with my grandma. And then adulthood or, high school, whatever happened, and I fell victim to the tale as old as time of art isn't a job, art isn't going to pay your bills, you can't go to art school, what are you going to do for a living? So I have this whole career in healthcare. I studied biology in college, and it was like uphill battle for my entire career until I finally had enough and quit corporate healthcare life last year, and then decided to finally jump into acting. I had started acting outside of my childhood after college on a whim, and then I was like, oh my god, like, I love doing this, and it made so many life decisions for me. My love of acting made so many life decisions for me in adulthood, and then so when I quit, and I was like, this is what I need to do now, and now that I'm doing this, that's my only regret in life, is not having done this from the get-go. Pursuing art and acting. I'm also a painter. I've been a painter my whole life, so not pursuing that passion, because this is, and to Gion's point, you can't really explain why.
Yeah.
This is just it feels right. Every job I ever had in corporate life, always just, I hated everything. Everyone that I worked with hated me, and I hated them back. Like, and it was just always such a hassle. It felt like I was fighting against something always in corporate life. And with acting, like, that was the first thing I noticed. Like, I don't have these problems anymore. Everything feels easy, maybe not financially, but outside of finances, life feels calm. Life, it's just this, like, it's so stupid, but it's that cheesy, like, this is what I was supposed to always be doing, and I can't explain why. I love becoming other people, but it's also, and this may not be healthy, but I love transporting myself into other lives. There's a sense of release there for me personally, of being able to just be someone else. And I used to always dream about being someone else, when I was in that corporate life, and I wanted to be successful in corporate, but like, it was just this fight always, and I always felt like I was acting, but like this person that I wasn't me in corporate life. And now it's like I'm me, and I'm portraying these other lives for other people that want to see those characters, not the characters that I was forcing upon other people in healthcare or whatever. But it's in my blood, I guess. Like I said, it's in my family. It's something that I've always been interested in and was never brave enough to pursue until, sometimes in your 30s you really lose all F's, right? Like, no more F's to give. And so I finally hit that point, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm 30-something, and I'm miserable for not even that much money, and so why not now? And that's my only regret in life, is not having started sooner.
Wow. Jeez.
Why not
Yeah.
now?
Right.
Why not?
Acting is interesting. I've always felt like a big fish in a little pond with certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because and my wife has set me straight. Like, sometimes you just get favor. Sometimes you just have faith. You know what I'm saying? So I always held that as, well, I don't want anybody to think that I think that I'm this, or I think that I'm that, but I've noticed, like, in life, certain things just seem to come easier. And, so music for one. And then when I hit college, all that stopped. You feel me? So, like, I got to college, I got a wake up call. I thought I was gonna be in Boston on tour, just playing, with no thoughts of like the logistics. But I'm just in here playing. And when I got to college, I was surrounded by so many people who were respectful, they were cool, they were so much better than me, and I had to face the fact that I was lazy, like I didn't like to practice, I didn't know. I had to realize that like when I saw a challenge, I said, nah, I'm gonna go this way, and so I stopped. I quit music. I quit stuff, and it's not till I left college that I realized like, oh, this is like you can't just run away from stuff. And it brings back to acting, because like acting in high school was like cool, it was fun, it was one of those, oh, you can do this, you have a natural something going on. And I didn't fall back in love with acting until after that period where I quit music, and then I found music again. Then the acting sign kind of like came back, and I got on stage and I didn't suck. But this time I had an idea like, okay, if I want to be good at this, if I want to see where this thing sprouts, like where it blooms, I have to put the work in. I have to go towards the thing that is tough. I have to like jump in the pool when I just want to dip my toe in. You know what I'm saying? And I have to see, because the one thing I didn't want to be is I used to be guy. 50 years old, like, hey man, you know, I used to play the sax too.
Yeah, back in the day.
Hey, I could have been on Law and Order.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right? but it's real, and as I'm getting older, because I'm 32 now, so I was also fighting the myth that you gotta have it together in your 20s. That's a wild myth. But so all these things were happening at the same time. So like, I got smacked down from thinking, and I never came in the space cocky, never, because like that's just not me. But I got knocked down to where like now I knew how it felt to have to get up, to have to say, you know what, we can do this, and have to put the time and work in. And then like God's just been sending stuff, and He's giving me opportunities to grow. And I've learned with acting, it's like I love being able to put words to the feelings that I can give to people with music. You know what I'm saying? Like I can play, and I feel the passion when I play. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just, I feel it, and I see how people move, and I see what we can do. But like, to be able to be gifted or have the opportunity to put words to these things that can also touch people in a certain way is crazy. And like, who am I to take that gift and just put it in my back pocket and not touch it, and just assume that it's gonna still be there when I decide to reach back into my pants? Right. You know what I'm saying?
When you're ready.
No, you know, no, but I mean that, because like, I can't. I do not deserve to be in this room and on this show with y'all if I'm not doing the work.
Yeah.
You feel me? If I'm not even putting the time in to say, I don't got it all together, give me notes. You know what I'm saying? So I think just acting is just enhance my music, or enhance how I see the arts, enhance how I speak to people, enhance how I interact, and I'm in the space with people. I don't gotta say much, and it just helps me like sit back and appreciate what's around me.
Thank you for coming to Slim Step Talk.
I don't even know if I want to go no more. Oh my gosh.
That's real.
That's
letting
so
your talent
real.
just sit for so long.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Putting it in your pocket.
Yes.
To see the next time you want to bring it back out again.
Yo, and to that, and I'm just a small. I realize just how real it gets. Like, so my older brother died in 2020, real unexpected, and you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know when you're gonna leave, and you never know like the mark you'll have. You'll never, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so who are we to take every breath we have and just act like we're gonna get it tomorrow? To act, and everybody, we're in the middle. No, we're in the middle. We're in the middle of the hood right now. No, how many people don't even realize that they had it? How many people feel like they don't have a talent? How many people don't feel like they can contribute more than the 9 to 5? You know what I'm saying? So like, if you think about it in that type of way, we have a duty to take what we have and go crazy.
I've been back for 2 years and been spending a lot of time taking care of her.
She okay?
she's, you know, same old same.
Mother Hope is the strongest woman I know. You remember the matches?
Yo, the matches. We were what, 10?
Yo,
I still don't know how she found out.
that football said, "Pop!" right in the back of your head.
Dylan Avery Gray. Just cause I can't see it, don't mean I can't see it.
Yo, she always knew what was up. Sometimes before we even thought about it.
Yeah. Just pray for her, will you?
I had that moment too, where working 9 to 5, I'm like, this can't be it.
Yeah.
I felt so stifled and just, I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do till I die.
Right.
And then I had someone very close to me pass away unexpectedly also, and I was like, it was this weird moment of like, that can happen anytime to anyone, anywhere, anyhow. And I was like, if something, let's say, is planned for me tomorrow, this is not how I want to end things. So that was, I was pregnant, Haven. I was growing a human in here. You don't know what that's like. It changes you. Whoever said pregnancy is bliss is a liar. And the worst part of it was my closest friend in the world really just gave up on me. If there was ever a time I needed you to keep showing up, it was then. I'm never allowed to not be okay. Where's my grace to wing it like everybody else? You didn't even come to my baby shower.
What you said reminded me of something that my dad often says to me and my sister. And, my dad. So he's a writer. And he says one of his biggest fears is to get to heaven. And God asks him, what did you do with the gift that I gave you? And he has no answer.
Lord.
And that's right.
Yes.
And I carry that with me. So when you said that just that hit me hard. Because, that's so real. We have a duty. Yeah.
We gotta use them. Die. What do you do with your talents, girl?
Wow.
It's crazy. I didn't know acting was a thing. Because to me, I was just watching what Tyler Perry was doing and getting up and redoing it, and I just thought that was just like cool by itself. Like I didn't worry too much about it. And my mom was like, you should really look into that, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Middle school, so end up getting to middle school, and they present me with Beauty and the Beast, and I went for it, and I got it, and I think even then I didn't realize still what it was. It wasn't until I got to high school and I had decided that I wanted to be a clinical psychologist, and specifically an abnormal psychologist, because I was interested in the way that people's brains worked and how they saw themselves to be different people than what they actually were, not even realizing that I was touching on acting. And so I got to high school and I was like, I really love the law and I really love like psychology and stuff like that, but like I'm kind of bored, so can we like make an acting group? And they were like, you have to do that yourself. And I was like, oh, okay. So I decided to create like this acting improv troupe that was led by Christian Shabu in the Future Project, which is how I met Frank Brady, and there's all these other people who then introduced me to CCY at Wesleyan University, and that was my
Let's go.
Yes.
That was my first time ever like auditioning for something. Like I was sitting down in a chair in a room and like spitting this monologue. That was from Vagina Monologues. I really don't know why I chose that one, but it was something that I enjoyed at the time. And still, like, even then, not even understanding the true essence of what I was indulging in. And it wasn't until I got to college that I thought that I knew what it was by then. Like, I thought that I had it in the bag, I was good, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, there's nothing that these teachers can teach me, these professors can show me that's going to be different from what I already know. And within, like, my first year of college, they told me that, you know, maybe I should choose a different career. And that, like, this wasn't for me. And so I internalized that a lot. And I went home and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not. Like, maybe I should be something else. But then when I tried to dive into the something else, it was like, what is this? In a world full of uncertainty, in a world full of I don't knows and maybes, acting was the only thing that I was like, that's for fact something that I can do. And so I didn't give up. I tried, I showed up the next school year, and I put in the work, I listened. I think that's another thing that, like, people don't realize acting is, you have to be able to take constructive criticism and not take it personally. And that's something that was hard for me, because when I was given notes, I felt personally attacked. And I felt like, you know, am I doing this right? And there's no right way to act. There's never been a right way to act. The only thing is, are you being authentic? Are you truly bringing yourself to the work and allowing the work to speak to you? And so with acting, it has really allowed me to be myself, to be very safe, to open up and allow other people's stories to come to me, and to listen to people around me a lot more. I really feel like everybody has a story, and the honor that you have to be able to take someone else's story who otherwise may not have been able to tell it, and tell it for them, and bring tears of joy to their eyes because you are embodying the vision of what they ultimately couldn't do, has been, like, super duper rewarding to me. So it's like, no matter what the price is for me, like, I'm not worried about the financial aspect of it all, because I do teach theater on the side. The only thing that I ever asked God for was for me to do something with the $40,000 degree that I got from that school. I said, I don't care what it is. You know, I want to be on stage. You know, I want to be in front of a camera. I said, but at the end of the day, I want to do something with this craft. And God said, okay, well, I'm going to make you teach the youth. But while you're teaching the youth, you need to also take what you're teaching them and continue learning yourself, because the moment that you stop learning, you stop growing. And so as I'm teaching these kids and I'm teaching them how to audition, I'm on the side looking at my own auditions. And now I'm taking the money from my 9 to 2 and funding my 4 to 8. Because, like, at the end of the day, I want my 4 to 8 to be my 9 to 2. But for right now, I have to work with what I have. And I think for me, it was a lot of one or the other. But you funny, ain't it? Be anxious for nothing and everything.
Just on that verse yesterday.
And that's why that line for me always has been like, even getting goosebumps thinking about it now. Those moments, like, I think too, the company that I keep was important.
Talk about it.
If I had been in friend groups that I was in high school, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Talk about it.
Because the people around me, it's something when you can't see the vision in yourself, when you have other people pouring life and instilling life into you or prophesying over your life and saying, no, you are going to do this. Like, I see you going places. And that's why I genuinely feel like if acting wasn't it, there would be nothing else. acting is one of the things that I feel strongly is my gift, my purpose. And if I'm not doing that, you know, what am I here for?
Yeah. What are we doing?
What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? It's the only thing that, like, when I do it, everything else stops. I hear nothing else. But the moments that I'm serving, the moments that I'm, like, you know, doing these jobs that, you know, don't speak to my heart, and people see that when they walk in. They're like, you know what? You're meant to be somewhere else.
Yes.
You're not meant to be here.
Yes.
It's those things that, like, continue to push you. So, acting has always been a first love to me. It's always been a definite yes in a world full of no's. So, yeah.
Wow.
I got chill.
Wow.
Come on, Dad.
Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests
be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Thank you.
Period. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know that's right.
I know that right. God is good all the time.
Too good. So basically, because we feel like we have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is no other alternative.
Once you get that call, you either answer or you don't. And like Kendall said, like Kendall's dad, like you'll get there.
What are you gonna say?
Exactly.
What did you do?
Exactly. That's
What
my
did we leave
fear.
behind?
What did I leave
What did we
behind?
leave
What's my
behind?
legacy?
What's your legacy?
You know?
Well, you see, what happened was
You don't realize too what you do inspires people around you. Like my baby sister, who's 5 years old, is now interested in theater and singing.
Oh, my little
But,
niece is into theater.
You know what I mean?
Because of me.
Just because they see you and see what you're doing, you never know who you can inspire, who you're supposed to inspire, who you're supposed to come across.
And a point that I don't think any of us have mentioned that I think is worth mentioning, all of us as people of color, the representation that we are bringing to stage and to film.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I've had little kids look up at me on stage, and that look, I'm like, that right there.
Yes.
That is why I'm
People who
here.
look like you, playing the roles that you play.
I love what you were saying about sometimes you don't realize like your real value until somebody kind of tells you it.
Yeah.
Because even me, I'm so immersed in like my artistry and sometimes, but sometimes that's why I kind of get red or I get embarrassed when I'm hearing you're good or like you're gonna go places, because it's kind of hard to see that. But I think that just pushes something out of me. And then what Fior was saying, I think for all of us, I'm speaking for all, for all of us right now, it's like I think acting and being a person of color, dude, it's just more meaningful. It's not just for me. I do this for me, but it's for so much people. It's for where I grew up. It's for the hood. It's for everybody that's been a part of my journey.
Yes.
And I want whoever like is watching this right now, like, and I'm sure I'm speaking about literally all of us. Like, I'm sure we're all appreciative of everybody that has came in our lives and has pushed us, because I feel like without those people and those foundations, I wouldn't be here sitting down right now. And dude, every time I go on that stage, it's deeper than me singing or acting or I'm serious or I'm laughing, whatever. It's just a Puerto Rican first generation low income student that I'm still struggling to this day, trying to figure out my way, gets to have that spotlight there. And you know how many people that I grew up with want that opportunity and they ever get to have that opportunity. And I go back to the projects or, I'm talking to my mom, or my little sister, and they telling me, yo, like, people talking about you, like, like I go home in the hood, people like, yo, like, you're the only one that really made it out, bro. So they always just, yo, like, we rooting for you. You come back home and we know that you're doing your thing, bro. So just keep doing it. And it's a story to tell. So that's why I said I could talk about representation this whole time. But we're doing this for y'all, like for us, for people that like, and people don't realize, like, dude, let's be real here, like. Now this is happening. Now in acting, we're getting represented. Like, this is a new thing. Like, people, like, this is now. Like, this ain't, they ain't, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that's why Lynn, In the Heights, that's bigger than a musical. That changed my life. You know what I'm saying? That changed my life, my perspective.
Yeah.
That, could change it, but that, Lynn could be a sophomore, write this play In the Heights. Dude, that changed my life. That changed my whole perspective and everything. But
Whew, sorry. Dude,
Don't apologize.
It's. I don't even it's the way acting makes me feel is something I don't even know how to describe, dude. Mm-hmm. It's like y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like if you know, you know. Yes. And we're meant to be here. I love when Jackie even that makes me feel good. No, Gene, it's like, oh, I'm an upcoming actor. You are an actor. I gotta tell myself every day I am an actor because it's really what we put into the world that we get right back. We gotta damn near manifest this, you know. And
Absolutely.
Whew, we here, and I'm so happy to be here, dude. I keep saying it. Dude, I got no regrets, and this is where I want to be because this is more valuable than anything I've ever done.
You're supposed to be here.
For a reason.
This is hope.
Yeah.
We've been inspired. People are giving us hope. And now we have the opportunity to continue that. Even with Jackie literally writing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wrote this. Yeah. You writing this and then you producing this and then you get an opportunity to put this on in itself is something crazy. Yes, the quality that you're doing is something crazy. So that, and then now you're giving us all this opportunity to give hope. I get inspired by y'all and I say it, and I'm not I don't know if they call that convention talk. Just hey, yeah, we're gonna get up. We're gonna get no. I mean it. Every time I tell y'all something, every single time. If y'all don't, when y'all on stage, y'all don't see me. I be cheesing. I promise you, I be in the cut because I'm just wow. Do they know how good they are? Do they know we're in a room together? I'm yo, imagine what the people who watch this, the people who don't even know us will see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to know they can do this, I can do this, or if not this, I can do something else. But why not? Like you said, I'm 30 something years old. I'm 15 years old. I'm 97 years. Idiot. But I'm you know what I'm saying?
Why not? Why